Ciao Juventini of the world. My name is Giuseppe. Welcome back on the channel. I'm happy. I'm happy to be back. We have to speak about Mercato, something that we actually didn't do a lot this season. We are on the 29th. In 40 minutes, we will be the 30th. We know that the Mercato closed on the 1st of September this season. That means that we have really not a lot to go. Will something happen or not? We will be here to try to monitor what is happening in the Mercato. We will check, of course, on Twitter if Gianluca Di Marzio, Romeo Agresti, the Interisti are using my video. I should ask a bit of money every time that they are using my video to mock me. I should do that. You know, like copyright for using my video. I'm not even sure if it's possible. I should investigate because I could be rich every time that Interisti are obsessed with my videos and with my beautiful face. Anyway, we'll try to check everything what is happening today. Official news from Juventus FC. Let's go to the profile of Juventus FC because we have the official news of Ciao Juventini becoming the third player from Juventus on loan to Frosinone. And after Juventus, I believe that we all can support Frosinone this year because if you have Barrenechea that already played twice, he entered against Napoli in the defeat they had in the first game of the season, then in a beautiful win they had with a beautiful, fantastic first half, well, Sule is already there and Ciao Juventini is joining them. So 3 players from Juventus at Frosinone. Good luck. I believe it's a right decision. I believe it's absolutely right decision. They were like, indeed, Frosinone is like baby Juve FC BT. I agree. Buongiorno BT or good evening. No, good evening. For you from Austria, it's good evening. No, to be honest, I believe it's a really great decision. A really great, fantastic decision to let him go to Frosinone. There were some options for Caio. The option of let him stay with the next gen, but of course, playing with the next gen means that you are playing in third division in Italy. In a tough group for the next gen because we are playing this time in the B team. You know that you have Serie C, you have Girone A, and Girone B. We always play it in Girone A. This time we are going in Girone B. That is a bit more difficult. So let's see what will happen there with a lot of next-gen players that were promoted in the first team, like Barrenechea, like Sule, Miretti, and so on and so on. Iling Jr., so many. Now, Yildiz and Huijsen. The initial plan was to have them with the next gen, but the plans change because they will be first team players that will potentially help the next gen instead of the other way around, next gen players that become and go and help the first team. So it will be quite tough, but he could have played there. Otherwise, he could have go on loan to Brazil, but generational talent, Ciao Juventini, we often forget that, but really generational talent that had a really bright spot, took the difficult decision, because it's always a difficult decision to leave your home ground of Brazil to go to Europe. Could have go back, but that would have been, according to me, a step back as well, because, you know, if you're a player that is signing for Juventus and he was not signing for the next gen, he signed for the first team, you go back to Brazil would have been, I think, something a bit annoying. On the other side, is he could have gone to Serie B. He goes to a team that will play relegation. Of course, they will play relegation, except if now the 3 boys are bringing something totally different to the first Frosinone that we saw in the beginning of the season. But I think it's a great choice. Then some people were already thinking and dreaming about the Ciao Juventini joining the first team. You know it, with one competition only. The time at disposal for Caio would have been really, really, really minimum. And after, I believe, 1.5 years of suffering, it's a great choice. So tell me what you think about Ciao Juventini to Frosinone before speaking about Mattia Sule. Let me know what your opinion is. Would you have... Oh, maybe we can do a poll, and then we say hello to the people in the chat. Let's do a poll. I love the polls. I don't know if you like the polls or not. I always like to. So, Caio Frosinone, right choice, better, next gen, first team, or loan in Brazil. You have 4 choices that are starting now. And now we have time to say also hello to all the people in the chat. The first one that I want to say thank you and hello, so it's a double communication, is for Hosar, 22 months a member of the channel. Ciao Beppe, happy to end a long night with a live. I don't know where you're living, Hosar. Maybe I missed that information. So ending the night while we are actually starting the night here where I live. Belgium, that is the same time zone as Italy, Spain, France, and so on and so on. It will not be a long one. It should not be a long one. At least I didn't plan a long live, but I really wanted to go live. Ciao, thank you again, Hosar. Let us know where you are from so that I can a bit situate you in the world. Ciao, Saraz. Ciao, Tony Trim. Grande Tony Trim. Tony Trim, you are fooling me because in the few days ago you had another name, and you know that I forgot the name. You have the same profile picture, but you changed the name. Totally changed. Now it's Tony Trim, but you had another name. Is it Anthony? Probably it's Anthony. But if you change like that without warning, I go in difficulty. I live in the Netherlands, but for me, this is late. No, of course, it is late. 11:26 is late. Ciao, Steve Cano. Every time. Every Serie A time they... What? Every Serie A time they get will be fantastic. In this way, we even give time for more players in the next gen. Grande futur. Every Serie A time. Oh, every Serie A minutes or time they will get will be fantastic. In the okay. You know, sometimes I'm losing my my translation to understand it. The boys needs to have playing time. Beppe, Ken Frosinone also take Alexander. No, I don't think so. Kaijor is who I am interested the most in seeing. Mama, today I have... It's me, guys. It's not new. It's me. I have problems with reading. And you know what? I was just watching a documentary about myopy. Sometimes also doing things that are not football related. So I was watching a documentary, quite interested, because they were saying actually to prevent, not to heal, not to resolve, but to prevent myopy. Kids, before having myopy, they should go more outside. This is one of the causes, because probably inside, it's not the iPad, it's not the computer, so don't stop the live, you can continue to watch. This is not the cause, but probably missing of the daylight could be a problem. It was quite interesting. I like. Michael, grande Michael. Ciao Beppe, 2 games in, I'm already thinking of a new manager. Am I crazy? Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. I think yes, you are. Because first of all, it will not happen. That's important to understand. It will not happen. Then, objectively, I saw a lot of different changes in the Juventus that we saw in the preseason and in the first start of the season. Tony Trim, Juve dad, ciao. Then we have Anthony Schifano is saying hello, grande Beppe. Anthony Schifano that didn't change the name, grandissimo. Stavros is there in the chat, and also him, 19 months on the chat. I really like the late night live streams. Well, I have to say that's the moment where I am quite relaxed to do it. Now, are we expecting a lot of news? Maybe yes, maybe no. After this poll, we will start a new one, understanding if you believe that something will happen or not. We had 2 objectives on the right side, or at least 2 objectives that I was thinking about. Cheap, low, not as starters, but as replacement. Castine, he went to Fulham. Holm went to Atalanta, so I don't think there will be someone else that will join Juventus on that right side, so we will have to do with Weston McKennie, but also other solutions like Cambiaso going on the right side. This is my battle. I don't know if you agree with me or not, but that could be really my battle today. Moving Cambiaso on the right side to start also, because one action leads other actions. Cambiaso on the right could give again Gatti some starting playing time, and if Gatti is there, you have a Danilo on the left side, which would go back to a defense that probably will be appreciated a bit more by people. Let me also say thank you to Takeshi that is happy because he said, Beppe, great live because I'm just finishing work and I'm able to watch and catch you live. Great timing. So thank you, Takeshi. But also thank you for not being selfish at all, because Takeshi is offering a membership randomly to someone in the chat. And this time it was for Ami or Amy that received it to Takeshi. So Amy, if you are able to say thank you to Takeshi, that's just fantastic. Calogero is happy because he's saying Grazie Roma. We know what we are speaking about. Let's go and see some images. Lukaku that arrived. We were thinking that we could do the Here We Fly. No, we don't do the Here We Fly, but look at that. Lukaku that arrived in Roma already did and finished his medical visits. Then he even received a shirt. He's happy. That close to become a Juve player. He was really that close to become a Juve player. Really, I was really believing that Lukaku would have become a Juve player at a certain moment. Maybe influenced too much by Corriere dello Sport, but that's what I really was thinking, that he could have become a Juve player this season. I tell you the truth, I didn't want Dusan Vlahovic to leave, but you know that I don't like the player. I always told you I don't like the player. I don't want him to come and so on. But I will continue to be consistent with what I'm saying. He's not a finished player, according to me. And it's a player that I believe could have done well. Immediate impact at Juve. The future, I don't know. Anyway, we will never know, and it's also a good thing. It's a good thing. Juve dad, Lukaku doesn't need shirts. Indeed. I don't understand why they throw a shirt at him, because indeed he doesn't need them. Great deal, great solution after the UEFA ban. So our players will play much more in Serie A. I agree, all of these. And by the way, 89% of the people, mamma mia, it's a long time ago that we didn't have that block of people that are totally agreeing with each other. We are at 89% of the people voting for right choice. Better next gen, 4%, 6% first team, 1% loan in Brazil. So, okay, we are there. We are there with 88, 89% that are voting for the things. I think that we are all agreeing, except of 2-3 souls that are thinking that it was not a great decision. But guten Abend, Ghost, mein Freund. Wie geht es Ihnen? Good, sehr gut. Dankeschön. Und dich? Und dir? Und der die das? Und der die das? Anthony Trimble einfeed. Anthony Trimboli, mamma mia, what a disaster. It was so easy, actually. It was so easy. Mamma mia, Beppe, disaster. Buonasera, Laudantes. Oh, chi c'è? Guarda un po', I'm happy. I'm happy when Laudantes is here. Oh, my team of Fantacalcio, I am not first. Laudantes, so we have to do better. We have to do much better with the team. Even if, do you remember, Raffia? I told you about Raffia. It was my bet. Laudantes, please confirm. My bet, Raffia. Raffia already scoring 1 goal. Oh, ragazzi. And I didn't take him, but Charles de Ketelaar, I told you. But I'm happy. I'm happy because Laudantes, he told me, Beppe, I don't believe that Chukwueze in the beginning of the season will give you a lot of points. So I listened to Laudantes, Antonio, and he was right, because at the moment Chukwueze didn't bring a lot of points. Ciao Beppe, grazie Takichi. Grande Romelu, people are happy for Romelu. Thank you, dear. Everyone is happy. Lukaku will score against Inter or Juve. I hope against Inter and not against Juve. If there was a Roma batch, he would already have kissed it. Yeah, of course. Limo, Lukaku, the replacement for Ibanez. He will, indeed. Lot of heart from Amy, that is happy. Steve Cano, for Allegri style Lukaku is perfect, but for our future, it is good that it didn't come to us. Yeah, I kind of agree. The team is still incomplete. We have many problematic areas in the defense and wingers. Okay, can we start speaking about Mercato? In the meanwhile, you know it, at every single moment of the live, I can just interrupt it if there are some news. At the moment, it's calm. You know it, during the week, it's all the Italian shows are about Mercato are starting around 11 p.m. When they have the big news, they launch it immediately. otherwise they wait a bit to give us a bit more news. Well, I was listening also to Romeo Agresti, to Giovanni Albanese, to Gianni Balzarini, to all the journalists, to all the experts. There is nothing. At the moment, nothing. We were all thinking, and you saw him on the thumbnail, and that's the moment that we are speaking about Filip Kostic, that Filip Kostic could be on the market, but Juventus doesn't want to loan him. Juventus doesn't want to loan Filippo from Kostic, which is totally understandable. By the way, they are speaking about Piazza leaving, and this time after, I believe, 120 loans, this time on a permanent deal. I believe that if this happens, we need to add an emoji in the chat of Cristiano Giuntoli, because he will succeed where all his predecessors failed. That means finding a team in a permanent deal for Marco Piazza. Again, Marco Piazza, I will tell you the truth, it's a sad story, because he was a bit the Caio Giorgi from the past. Caio Giorgi or Marco Piazza that comes quite young, quite physical as well, a striker that could have had a lot of potential. That injury that he had in that friendly with the under 21, I believe, from Croatia is quite annoying. Attenzione, because Di Marzio tweeted, but he tweeted about Roma, and we don't care. He's just saying that everything is going as planned. No, he's speaking about Milan. 12 million plus bonus offered to Porto for Taremi. But how many players do they want? Mamma mia. How many players do they want? You know that Milan is doing a smart Mercato, let's be honest. But every time that there is a name linked to Milan, every time that they are able to close a deal, I can't just forget that they are doing Mercato with our money. People are underestimating it, and people are praising the new ownership of Milan correctly, because they are doing a smart Mercato. But ragazzi, honestly, they are doing. Never forget that. Never forget that they are doing the Mercato with the money of Juventus. Why am I saying that? Because if Juventus had no point deduction, they would have been in Champions League. If Juventus had these 2 points more that were missing, the ones of Salernitana, we would have been in Champions League. If Ceferin didn't decide to ban us from a European competition, we would have been in Champions League and not Milan, with a gap of 80-90 million euro for Milan from the Champions League entries. They will be, of course, recovering it a bit with Europa League, but you know that it's absolutely not the same. But on the other side, attracting players, proposing them, offering them to play Europa League is absolutely not as attractive as playing the Champions League. So don't forget that. Don't forget that when you're praising and saying bravo, fantastico, Milan, rossoneri, 7-time winner of the Champions League, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. So, ciao Michael, grande Michael van de Peer. We're saying, Beppe, can you explain me how it's possible that we were about to buy Milinkovic-Savic without selling anybody, and now it appears we can't find money for a player on the right? We made a mistake with Cuadrado. We never signed Milinkovic-Savic without money. We always said that Milinkovic-Savic would have been a player that could have joined Juventus in case we would have been able to offload someone. That someone could have been Paul Pogba. Or it could have been the entry of money, cash from Lukaku plus money for Dusan Vlahovic. Would have brought you a bit of money. Loaning out some players in the midfield. Probably they already knew that Rovella would have been gone, and probably Rovella, that at that moment, because they wanted to test him in USA, would have been a player that could have entered the discussion until the moment where Milinkovic-Savic decides to accept the money from Saudi Arabia and also not wait for Juventus. Kessié is the same discussions, ragazzi. We talk a lot about Kessié, about Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, but at the end, nothing happened. Nothing really concrete. It's not that we sat on the table to say, here is the contract, and you can join tomorrow. There were talks, there were big interest. But at the end, these players were waiting. Probably some said no, like Kessié. Kessié said no. He was attracted to Premier League. He was attracted to staying at Barcelona. And if these kind of things didn't happen, he preferred to choose for the money of Saudi Arabia to go there, which is, I can't blame them. I can't blame them, even if super young. But anyway, I can't blame him at all, especially if you see the television coverage suddenly that happened this year for the Saudi Arabia league, with a lot of televisions that are blaming, and that's a bit the hypocrite side of a lot of televisions, media, and so on, which you will not hear me saying here on the channel. They are all blaming Saudi Arabia, all blaming the money and what are they doing and how much are they spending. But then you see that immediately they are starting to jump on television rights to buy, now that it's still a bit cheap, the Saudi Arabia League. And every time the big accounts on Twitter and so on, every time that there is a possible deal, or when Ronaldo is scoring or whatever, or they are reporting us the scores of the team, which, when it's good for own interest, then Saudi Arabia is not the evil of all things. When it's not in own interest, then Saudi Arabia is the worst thing, the one that is destroying European football, which is, according to me, a big joke. But again, ragazzi, this is my point of view on the situation. I believe that you have to be consequent. Saudi Arabia is doing what with another power, of course, with strange things, without rules, but they are doing, in a way, what they are able to do. If there are no rules, they are doing what they can do. And can you blame a player that is going for 20-30 million euro a year to Saudi Arabia? Absolutely no. Absolutely no. So let's continue about Kostic. We were expecting some offers. Why? Because we understood that on the right side there were something missing. Then I have to be honest with you. I don't think that Weston McKennie is the long-term solution there on the right side. I don't even believe that De Sciglio will be the long-term solution on the right side. So I was really hoping that we could have reinforced ourselves. The fact that the initial voices of last week about Juventus again interested and probably planning a meeting for Holm didn't receive confirmations in the beginning of the week. So yesterday and today we hear that he's going at the end to Atalanta, means that we gave up on the right side. We gave up for a cheap solution. Probably why? Because the offers for Filip Kostic are not arriving. So what is the problem that we have today? We have a problem that on the left we have three players, Cambiaso, Kostic, Ealing Jr., or let's say Cambiaso, Ealing Jr., and Kostic. I'm speaking in terms of appearances, in terms of minutes in these two first games of Serie A, where on the right side we have only Weah. A Weah that is still loading, a Weah that is still adapting to the league. So are we committing there a mistake? Well, according to me, probably yes. Is it because we are blocked? Because, again, we were not able to sell any big player. We couldn't cash in a lot. I made today again, can I show you what I made? Probably yes. I don't know how, but I'm sure I will be able to show you. Wait, on Excel, on Excel. By the way, I still have to adapt it now. So if you're going to Excel, can I go to Excel, please? Yeah, I will have to add it. Give me a second, guys. Window capture. Okay. Excel. Here we are. Wait. Up. Oh, it disappeared. Wait. Where is it? It created a bit of troubles, Excel. Let's try again. Window capture. I will try again, guys. Okay, here we are. Am I blocking? No, I'm not blocking, which is good. But I'm not sure if you will be able to see it or not. Wait. Let's go like this. Like that. It's all handmade. All handmade. So give me a second. Okay. Okay, it's a bit better. It's a bit better. I hope you can see it or not. So you have the squad list for USA here. And now you can see it. Huh? Yeah, I was in 1 FPS indeed. It's better now. Huh? So you have here the team that went to USA. You have the team that remained at La Continassa. You have here the actual team of Juventus, and here the teams that are out of the project at the moment. So what can we say? We can say that we have also to add Ciao Juventini now on loan, because now it's official. Ciao Juventini, he didn't travel. Okay. So we have Piazza and Bonucci. Bonucci, the update, some people asked me a bit earlier, what about Bonucci? Bonucci could potentially leave or say goodbye to Juventus already tomorrow. Will it happen or not? I don't know. I have no confirmation about it, but that could be the reality, that he could leave tomorrow, and then we will change him. And Piazza, we just spoke about him, is a player that could leave for Reika. It's a team I don't remember. Did we play against Reika in a friendly or so or something? I don't remember. It's a name that sounds like to me. I think we played against them in a friendly in December. Is that correct? Yeah, that's the team we played against. Huh? Oh, so that means that at the end we have how many players? We have 26 players. 26 players with De Sciglio long time injured. Yeah, it was, yeah, with a goal of, was it Soule on penalty? Was it Soule on penalty? I think. No, Soule was against Standard de Liège on penalty. I don't remember. Keane? Could be, I don't remember. I remember we played against that team because I downloaded the logo and so on and so on. I was paying attention which is the first letter or whatever. Thomas Meadow is saying Reika, Croatia, my home. Indeed. So, you see, we have at the moment then 26 and a long-term injury that is De Sciglio, so 25 players. 25 if Bonucci and Piazza are going out of Juve also. You really go with 25 players. I repeat you, in the beginning, we were speaking about how much? 45 players. 45 players. That's what we had. So between loans, between Zakaria that went permanently, probably Piazza permanently, Bonucci permanently, Rovella, loan with obligation. Pellegrini, loan with obligation. De Winter, loan with obligation. We did a big work. We did an extremely huge, big work, I think. And when people were asking me, Beppe, what about your opinion about that? Well, I will tell you in a second, because first, let me say thank you to Autolectuals. 9 months as a member. Thank you, Autolectuals. Keep Keane and sell Milik, who hasn't performed in ages. I want to, if I start speaking about Keane now, then my structure will be gone. But it's true that there are some players that are still on the market if a huge offer arrives. Loan with obligation to buy, or a permanent sale. Not on loan. Not a loan with an option, but loan with obligation. And these are Moise Kean, Kostic, probably also Ealing Jr. Ealing Jr., to give you an answer, he has been on the market not because we wanted to let him go, because we believe in the kid, but he has a contract until 2025. So the contract is not that long. So we have really to pay attention to Ealing Jr., because we don't want to commit the mistake that in 1 year is gone for really cheap while you have a really big talent there. So that's something that we really need to pay attention for. But it's because we are with too many players and we need in a certain way to cash in. So I still believe that if tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, or or Friday morning an offer arrived, or for Kostic, or for Keane, or for Ealing Jr., this player can go. Milik, there were some talks about Roma at a certain moment that asked for information, but Juventus wanted money, immediately money, which didn't happen because they can't spend. By the way, you wanna be sad. The reality is that Inter is the one that is doing cash money, the biggest transfer of this Serie A 23-24. They are going with Pavard for 30 million euro. That's the biggest spent money for one single player in 23-24 for an Italian team. 30 million euro. Because we are blaming Juventus that we are not able to do Mercato, blah, 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 which is correct. You can. We have to be pissed off with ourselves for the past mistakes that we did, and we are paying the consequences. On the other side, we are paying mistakes that other people, they point the finger at us and they punished us for us. And then you see that we are paying the consequences for it. But even the other ones that didn't have point deduction, they are playing Champions League, they even arrive in the final of Champions League. The biggest spent money is for Pavard with 30 million euro. We are not speaking about 100 million. We are not speaking about 60 million. We are speaking about 30 million euro, which is not a lot. Thank you, Outlet, to us. Lil Guy, by the way, who is the replacement for Keane? If Keane really goes somewhere for money, it's Morata. Morata that really wants to come back. He's doing quite well in the beginning of the season with Atletico Madrid, but is also waiting a bit for understanding. So, things can happen tonight, tomorrow. Things are not closed. Then the probabilities, of course, that we go more and more and more towards this is the team with the 25 players are huge until January, where in January you can again go. Thank you, Lil G. Thank you, Lil G. That yesterday was on the channel of Romeo Agresti. He was participating a lot. Romeo answered a lot of questions from Lil G. And I'm thankful that you became a member of this channel. Don't forget, Romeo Agresti will be here Thursday for the last hours of Mercato. So it could be a beautiful one. Could be a real beautiful one. Inter and Milan have done a good Mercato. Again, Milan with the money of Juve, but yes, it's true. Inter as well. But I told you about the teams. I want to do a rating of Mercato from the moment that we close it. But Inter with Quadrado on the right. That is actually the sub of Dumfries. That is putting him a bit in challenge. With Carlos Augusto on the left, that is challenging also Di Marco, young player, instead of Gosens. It's an upgrade because Gosens from Atalanta was fantastic. The Gosens from Inter, absolutely not. Fratesi in the middle of the field. They took two players, Arnautovic and Sanchez, to replace a player like Correa that was absolutely not performing at Inter. So Sanchez or Correa, it's the same. Arnautovic for Lukaku could be potentially a problem, but if you see how fast that Arnautovic insert himself in the team, well, pay attention. Then Pavard, that can play in the three men behind instead of Darmian. De Vrij, that is starting to be there. Onana sold 55 million euro, only plus Valencia, indeed Stanley, and they took Sommer, that is a old but respectable goalkeeper. Congratulations, because you know what I like from the way of doing of Inter this season, but already last season, is the fact that Inter is able to have one way of playing in mind, and they don't change. I believe you always need a plan B. But anyway, you know what's the plan B from them? The plan B is having depth on the bench, that every single player is both in function of that 3-5-2. So you can change whoever you want. Barella, Fratesi, Mkhitaryan, Çalhanoğlu. Who else do they have there in the midfield that I didn't mention? Probably I forget the other players. Up front, the starters are Lautaro Martinez and Thuram. Behind you have an Arnautovic and a Sanchez. In the back you have Bastoni, De Vrij. When he will come back from injury, Acerbi. You have now a Pavard, Darmian. Oh, it's a smart mercato. Let's be honest, it's a smart mercato. Marcello is saying Marotta. Yeah, Marotta. That I don't like to praise too much because Marotta is like the guy. He's doing like 50% of the things well, 50% of the things bad, but we only speak about the good things from Marotta. The things that he's doing bad, we never speak about it. The question is, how did they, or where did they find the money to sign players? But that's a big question mark, because the president of Inter is there in his country. Maybe he will go to jail because he has no money. They have so many debt. Indeed, the debt is growing every single year. So instead of paying back the debt, they are making it bigger, and they are making loans on existing debts. Indeed, it's a kind of really a credit card system. Huh? I don't know how they are able to do it. Juve, everyone is saying Onana. Yeah, it's true. But it's not only that. It's not only Onana. Oh, ragazzi, they have a debt of 800 million. Last time I checked, I think it became even bigger. 800 million euro debts that is growing every single year. So, but anyway, good for them. Good for them. If Federazione Italiana Gioco Calcio, they are allowing them to do business like that, if they are able to postpone the payments of the salary of COVID and so on, they do. Skriniar, they didn't sell Skriniar. Skriniar went on a free. Oh, that's, for example, one of the things that we can speak about. Skriniar going on a free to Paris Saint-Germain, mismanagement of Marotta. But these are the things that we never speak about. Anyway, I don't want to speak about Inter too much. Chunky, I'm just looking at our team and the players we are talking about, and I'm like, wow. Gone are the good days. We were looking at the top players coming in. But it's a general thing for Serie A. Oh, Pavard, I remember when I spoke about Pavard like 3 seasons ago, I believe, people were mocking me on the channel. Not that I wanted him, not that you were mocking me, but we were mocking the name, we were mocking the news because we didn't want the Pavard. Now Pavard is like the big player that is joining Serie A. Michele Fusco, mamma mia, dopo 3 anni. Guarda, dopo 3 anni è arrivato Fusco. Mamma mia, fantastico. Guarda, sei uno di loro. Però sei un grandissimo, sei quel numero 1. Sei il numero 1, Michele Fusco. Guarda un po', questo mi fa piacere. Ci ha messo 3 anni, però l'ha fatto, che è diventato un subscriber del canale. Grandissimo Michele. Oh, no, Michele Fusco is one of my inspirations, one of my idols. Michele Fusco, that is always speaking with a lot of sarcasm, irony, but he went away. Se n'è andato. He's gone. Michele Fusco, he decided, no, Beppe, I leave. Now I leave. Sorry, Beppe. Ciao, Beppe. I came, I said hello, I subscribe, and now I unsubscribe. No, seriously, Michele Fusco is a fantastic person, but I love the fact that Michele is someone that is extremely aware about Juventus present, past, and that immediately has a huge memory in he came back, because I'm speaking well about him, he decided to come back. He's someone that is able to link immediately present topics with the past, with a huge cinematographic archive memory. So, no, grande Michele Fusco. Michele is grandissimo. I like, it. I love humor. I'm someone that is moderating also my humor on the channel, because you never know. People, they have problems sometimes with understanding humor. Anyway, let me try to go back to what we were speaking. I forgot. What were we speaking about? I forgot. Lukaku, we already spoke about. We spoke about Kostic. Can someone tell me what we were speaking about? Excel and people that left. No, this we already did. It was over. No? Were we still speaking about Excel? Let me check. No, we already did that. That was over. Moiskin. Mercato Inter. Yeah, we were speaking about Mercato of Inter. But okay, let's close the chapter of Mercato of Inter. What do you think about Roma? Tell me what you think about Roma. You know, it's sad, huh? It's in a way it's sad, huh? Because we are on a Juve channel and we're speaking about the Mercato of the other teams. We didn't. It was a difficult Mercato, huh? Difficult Mercato. Roma is overrated for Tony Trim. I agree. Aldo is laughing at Roma. Because no, I was speaking today, and some people told me again, even today, even after their really difficult start, 1 point in 6 available points, they were telling me that Roma was still on the paper, a fantastic team that did extremely well on the Mercato. Don't forget, I have the names somewhere because I wrote them last time, but they have names like Christensen, Ndika, Awar, Paredes, Renato Sanchez, Lukaku now, which is a Mercato that on paper is not really a bad one. Huh? On paper is not a bad one. Now, Mourinho said it himself. If these players were 100% healthy and at the top of their form and playing according to their expectations of their career, probably they will not be at Roma. And he's not wrong, huh? Mourinho is not wrong on that one. Roma came out of nowhere in the last Mercato. Roma, they did, how can I say? They started immediately. Do you remember they were the first Italian team to start announcing player with Awar Ndika for free. And then they were selling players for Plus Valenza without shame. Without shame. They were just going like that. Sassuolo was helping them. I think that Di Marzio is a bit drunk. Or you guys didn't report really well. Mohammed, which expires in 2027. When I'm watching, no, it's true. It's true. The news of Di Marzio is true. Huh? Is it correct or not? But but you know why? And then we will speak about Huijsen in a second. Michele, wait, let me first read Michele. Ciao Giuseppe, I'm here to talk about the marvelous job of Cristiano Giuntoli for Frosinone's team. Oh, this was a tweet that today made me laugh so much. Again, take it with a grain of salt. There is always humor, irony, but in the humor and irony, there is always a kind of thought, kind of correct signings than signings for Juventus. By the way, he did like how many signings did he do officially for Juve? Like not Wea, because it was before he joined. Facundo Gonzalez, he went immediately to the next gen. So can we say it's Giuntoli? Probably not. So he did more signings for Frosinone than for Juve. Yeah, it was a tweet that I watched today. It made me really, really, really laugh. You lost connection, guys. I'm back. Oh, I'm back. Maybe it's the Excel thing that is creating problem. No, so I was saying Cristiano Giuntoli, the tweet of Michele Fusco was doing a marvelous job because he did more for Frosinone than for Juventus. That was a good one. So, Huijsen renewed a few months ago until 2027, which is quite long because we are in 2023, so he renewed for 4 years. You know that in Italy we are giving maximum of 5 years contract. In London, Chelsea, they found a way to give contract for like 12 years. In Italy, we give 5 maximum. You can give 1, you can give 2, 3, 4, but 5 is maximum. So if they want to renew his contract, they can go with 2028. But probably why? Because probably the salary that they were discussing with Huijsen in his last contract discussion were a salary from a next-gen player, while today is not number 7 in 6 defenders, but is really one of the 6. And from what I heard, confirmed yesterday from Romeo Agresti, the kid is impressing, and I'm not saying really week in, week out, is impressing day by day everyone. And according to Romeo Agresti, some sources told him the kid is ready. I would absolutely not surprise to see him entering really soon, and probably also starting really soon. The guy this year, he will learn, he will, eat with his eyes. You know the expression eating with the eyes? What does that mean, eating with the eyes? It means that you are watching something and you are absorbing. In English, we say, being a sponge. Being a sponge. You take a... It's a bit the ASMR moment, but this is what he's doing, and he's really growing. So this year will be the sponge year until next year, where I think it will be undiscussed starter. The kid, I'm following him since he arrived. I couldn't see the games of under 17, but they were already speaking really extremely well about Huijsen. Now, I was able to follow him in under 19. Montero, he said, what is this kid doing in third year? What is this kid doing with the Primavera, with the under 19? Let him go. He went to under 23, next gen, and immediately was doing fantastically well. And he was a starter. So, Huijsen, according to me, is the player. You remember when everyone was hyping Kenan Yildiz? I told you on the channel, no. Yes, Kenan Yildiz, yes, of course. But this guy, Dean Huijsen, let's see what Gianluca Di Marzio is saying. Pay attention to the pubblicità of Di Marzio. You know that for the under 18 kids, you have always to pay attention, putting your hands in front of the eyes, because the ads on the side of Di Marzio, first of all, is giving us the impossibility to watch normally his site, because there are like 150 ads. It's quite difficult. Look, it's a disaster. How do you want to give a fantastic customer experience, a viewer's experience, a reader experience, if you have to navigate? Look, when I'm going on the site of Gianluca Di Marzio, looks like I'm a better dribbler as Douglas Costa. If you want to enjoy the site of Di Marzio, you need to be a better dribbler than Douglas Costa and Anthony from Manchester United. Seriously, it is a disaster. But anyway, Juventus, si lavora al rinnovo di Huijsen. They are working on the renewal of Huijsen. What is he saying? Juventus wants to really blindare, to block, to here, like this, Huijsen, sul palo. They want to keep him. I bianconeri vogliono prolungare il contratto, so they want to extend the contract of the class 2005 from the next gen. I think here it's already a misinterpretation, because he's not a next gen player, but he's really a first team player, already called up by Massimiliano Allegri with the first team in the first games of this season. The defenders already renewed his own agreement with I Piemontesi, with the people from Piemonte, in the month of June, but now the management of Juventus has the intention to offer him an adequate, I told you, it's money, adeguamento, so increasing the money for the young central player. His contract at the moment will end on 30 June 2027. Juventus, the numbers, so we know already. In questa stagione, in this season, with a lot of probability, Huijsen will do la staffetta, so changing, going up and down between first team and next gen. That's the plan. Everyone is telling me, Beppe, block. ad blocker. I have absolutely no idea how I have to download that. But could be nice, huh? If I have that because, oh, I told you. Or you become a dribbler a la Douglas Costa, or you have problem. And you never know which ad will come on the side of Gianluca Di Marzio. Disastro. So that's one news. Then we have another news about Gianluca, about Kenan Yildiz. A news that was reporting a bit earlier already by Fabrizio Romano, Calcio Mercato Juventus, rinnovo in arrivo. So they are giving us a lot of renewal. I saw also that you are already speaking about Federico Gatti. Well, they are speaking about the renewal because they are negotiating with Gatti and... renewal in arrival for Yildiz, and they are speaking also about Gatti and Huijsen. About Yildiz, let's go. Mamma mia, disastro. Juventus is thinking about the future. The black and white club is thinking about Empoli. Okay, but he's also speaking about thinking about Mercato, in the specific, the renewal of some players. Yildiz, okay, calciatore turco, 4 anni. Oh, that's a priority, you know. Seriously, this is a priority. This is a priority. Mike is saying, how can you see? How you can see here is a mind job. There are some referee news in the Juventus article. Always. This morning I already made a video about the referee. Disastro. But only Ndoye Ealing Jr., not Chiesa, not the handball, nothing. Only Ndoye Ealing Jr. By the way, I'm still waiting for the audio of VAR, because they promised us that the audio would always be on Rai Sport on the Tuesdays. We are Tuesday. I didn't hear any audio. So let's see, it will be available publicly tomorrow. I'm curious to hear the discussions. Maybe they are, I don't know. Guys. I don't want to exaggerate, but maybe they are cutting, editing, and they are using an AI, like the one of Massimiliano Allegri when they are using him to sing Barbie, or when they are changing, putting the face of Massimiliano Allegri and using the voice. This is for me absurd. Who can tell me that what we will hear on Wednesday, on Tuesday, or whatever, so like 3 days after the game has been played, that it's authentic, that they didn't cut where they didn't want us to hear it, that they didn't use AI with the voice of the referee? Who tells me that? I don't know. It's easy like that. Like, this is easy, Or I hear immediately or not. So, no, seriously. No, we are joking, but who tells me? Boo, I don't know. I don't know. That's why I would love that we arrive in the future to something that they are giving us immediately, the audio available. Not tomorrow, not 3 days later, immediately. You give me immediately, we can hear, and then we see. So we are going with renewals. So you see, we are in a moment, ragazzi, where it's quite difficult because they are speaking about renewals. Gatti as well. Parliamo di Federico Gatti e Dean Huijsen. Per Gatti ci sarebbe il prolungamento di 1 anno, mentre per Huijsen un contratto di 5 anni. For Gatti, 1 more year extension. For Huijsen, in total 5 years, because he would go to a contract of 2028. The first defender of 25 years played already 27 games in total with Juventus in the last year. Dean Huijsen is 18 and didn't play with the first team at the moment. They are not speaking about numbers. They are not speaking just 1 more year for Gatti and 2028 for the young kid. But it's 3 beautiful renewals. Now, if we are a bit more serious, speaking about the Mercato, how many times did I told you? Would be extremely difficult to do Mercato this year with Giuntoli that is arriving from Napoli, probably not even able to go on the player that he was observing for Napoli, with so many with so many difficulties, with Juventus not knowing if they can do 1, 2, 3 competition. Juventus with already some difficulties with the extra large team without a budget. Well, I was not really expecting, except if you were able to sell Federico Chiesa, Dusan Vlahovic, and so on. So tell me, how much do you rate the Mercato today? How much do you rate the Mercato today of Giuntoli? If today is the last day of Mercato, how much do you rate the Mercato? Not only Giuntoli, but we already started a bit earlier with Manna and Tognozzi. What is the final rating of Juventus 23-24? In the meanwhile, I will read, thank you, Ron. Di Bello suspended. Now he can devote his energy to being president of Lautaro Martinez, fan club president. Thank you for the donation, Ron. And then I will read your ratings. Look, you know what I hate? That they are suspended for Serie A. That means that these referees, they can continue to be referees in Serie B. Why not in Serie C? So that means that these referees that did a bad job, they will earn less money because Serie A game is paid more than a second division, third division referee, but they still can do. So I don't really understand it, because if you are bad, you are bad. A game that you are playing 22 players, one against each other, with the same rules in Serie A, in Serie B, in Serie C. By the way, in Serie B and in Serie C, it's even worse because you don't have VAR. So in A, you have the support. Normally, you should have the support of the VAR. In Serie B, in Serie C, you don't have it. So you can even make more damages if you're retrograding them, which is actually really crazy, because you're sending a bad referee to lower division and they will suffer from that bad referee. I don't understand it. So let's see the ratings of your Mercato. But I agree, Ron Rositano, grandissimo. Thank you for your beautiful donation, my friend. Brother, so what are you saying about the ratings? Let me check. Steve is gone. Buonanotte, Steve. Let me check. So 0 on 10 for Juan. Mamma mia. He's the first one to answer. Juan is the first one to answer. He was already preparing. He was writing nothing because he knew the question would come, and he had already his 0 on 10 ready. Doesn't matter the question. The answer was ready from Juan, and he was just waiting for a random question so that he could press enter. Grande, Juan. At least you were the first one to answer. 0 on 10 for Juan, 7 on 10, because we kept our big players. Attenzione, another way of reading the Mercato. 6.715 on 10. 4 on 10 for Chunky. In 3 on 10, out 8 on 10. Who did we sell? I believe we sold Zakaria. Permanently, clear money immediately. Zakaria. Because Barbieri on loan, Frabotta on loan, Pellegrini loan with obligation, Arthur loan with option, Ranocchia loan, Zakaria we sold, Felix Correa loan, Sekulov loan, Caio Giorgi loan, Marlache Udinese loan. Did he start actually? I didn't see him. Sule loan, Rovella obligation, but super low amount. Barenechea loan, the winter. It's actually good because the winter is an obligation if they save themselves from relegation at 10 million euro. That's a good one. They win, but the other ones, so 8, I don't know. 6.5, 6, 5.5, 5. 6.35792 for keeping Chiesa and DV9. Mercato 7, 6.5, out 7 in 2. 6 for Juan De Mayo, 5 su 10 because we aren't title favorites with this Mercato. Lee Oswald would treat it better than Di Bello. It's true. Yeah, it's true. 2 on 10 for I like Wea. Meno male, Veritas. Luckily you like Wea. Because if you didn't like Wea, you would have probably given the Mercato of you a -5. 6.5 so far, 4 out of 10. Mark is still hoping, Mark, he doesn't want to give up. Mark, he said, until it's not final gong of Mercato, we keep believe something will happen. Mbappe will come. And then we go at 12 on 10. 8, we kept important players and sold a lot of players. Not bad in our situation. Michele, the point is that the referee can't be called for any Juventus game anymore. Are we sure about that, Michele? No, because he can't be called for a Juve game anymore until 2 months. Then when he will be back, let's see if he will be able. But maybe if he goes to Serie C, he can still whistle Juventus next gen. Girone B, you never know. And maybe he can do some damages there. You don't know. So Styler Z is repeating us alive. That's my quote. Styler Z, you're disappointing me because usually you're also adding the day and the time I have actually said that famous quote. But the quote I told you, and if I'm not wrong, it was of the 1st of June, I told you at the end of the Mercato, you will give me a 6 or a 5. That's what I said. At the end of the Mercato, you will rate the Mercato 6 or 5. That's what I told you. 6 or 5. And here we are with some people that said 8. Look at Ron, 8. 5 on 10 for Juventus. 5 on 10. Happy to keep the big 3, extend Rabiot, and going with Wea. Moderately happy about the outgoing player, but wish more were sold instead of loan. Unhappy that we can't afford to buy big players. Look, if you want my opinion, here is the time and you see? The 1st of June 2023 at 11 or 5 past 11. Rate the Mercato, you will give it max 6. You see? It was live with Stay Halma, you see? I said it, I knew it. Why? If you know Juventus, if you know the situation that we are in, if you knew that there would be a European ban, you can already anticipate it. Now, the problem is with all the loans that we did, it's great, because Barrenechea, Caio Jorge, Sule, they will have 1 more year experience. These players, if they are doing well, the value will increase. Better on loan, increasing their value than keeping them on the bench with decreasing value for next year. But if we are looking at all the players that will come back next year, we will have to start again, because yes, we will maybe, hopefully, play a European competition, hopefully Champions League. But even with the Champions League, you don't need 45 players. So also there you will have again to start working on selling players. So then it's easier. If Sule is scoring 10 goals this season, it's easier to sell him, not to Frosinone, but to another team, because Frosinone will not be able to sign him. If Barrenechea is the new, the real Paredes that we wanted, then Barrenechea is increasing his value, and it's easier to sell. But again, not to Frosinone. That means that you need again to go with the agent, to have a dinner. You remember the pictures of Cherubini after all the dinners with Carnevali. So it's a huge, big work that will have to be done also in 24-25 for all these players. Without guarantee that you can cash in. And now we are speaking about the beautiful perspective. The perspective that all these players will do well, like Rovella did well with Monza last year. So it's not an easy situation. I didn't expect that we would keep, and again, we are the 30th of August now. I didn't expect that we would have spoken on the 30th of August of a Juventus with Vlahovic, with Chiesa, with Bremer, with Rabiot. I was not expecting that Rabiot would stay. I would not expect all these names still being at Juve. So I'm happy that we have them. But of course, you pay the consequences. These players in means that you can't go on the market. Do I think that we have a complete team today? No. It's strange to still speak in 2023 about the Alexandro starter of Juventus. It's strange to still have Weston McKennie. I didn't expect Weston to be there in the team. So there are some things that are... we are not complete. Could we do better? In terms of having a more harmony team, a more team that made sense, probably you had to sell. We didn't, so it was an option that we took, also because the offers, or they didn't arrive, or they were not in the agreement of the players. Federico Chiesa, there were some offers. Who was there? Aston Villa, I believe. There were some players that were... there were some offers. Saudi Arabia, he didn't want to go. So you never know. If Real Madrid came at the door knocking for Chiesa, maybe he would have said yes. If Liverpool was serious in selling Salah and coming for Chiesa, maybe today would have spoken about a totally different Mercato of Juventus. We didn't. He wanted to stay. He wanted to prove himself. Juventus didn't want to lose him. Of course, now we are speaking about extension of Kenan, Huijsen, Gatti. Fantastic, beautiful. But Federico is another priority. Federico is another priority, because otherwise you go towards the Paulino Dybala situation. He will extend, and at the end, zero, and he's gone. So attenzione, attenzione. Italian. But if the manager doesn't want them in the 20-man squad next season, we should... what should we do? What if they don't do well? But that's the thing, You have to find solutions. So it will be also next year a huge big work, and we will say you the same. Because it's not that next year we are in Champions League, we are rich. Italy is not rich. Again, I repeat, Inter, the best, huge, biggest amount of all Serie A, Pavard, 30 million euro. Finalist of Champions League 22-23. That's what we are speaking about. Roma is going with 3 players that are half injured. Milan is going with the American dream. Also, honestly, Pulisic is doing the difference in Serie A at the moment. But Pulisic was not playing with Chelsea. He was not playing with Chelsea. Who did they sign again? Milan. Musa is coming from Valencia that had a disaster season. Who else? Did they sign Milan? I forgot. Randers, for where is he coming? I don't know the guy, but he's good. He's good. That's the problem. They know him. I didn't know him, but he's really good. But you see, you have a lot of players like that are quite that are coming not at the top of their... Loftus-Cheek, also another one. I did a live with the Chelsea guy, with Ma, and he was saying, we don't want them. Okafor. You go on Google, you type in Okafor, the first picture that you see is him on the hospital bed. No, I'm not joking. Ragazzi, it's the truth. I'm not joking. Abai, I thought we would lose Chiesa and Vlahovic, so I'm happy with the Mercato, 7 on 10, given the circumstances. Next year, we need to go for a real regista, central defensive midfielder, fullbacks, and left-footed center-back. Except if you have a... Huijsen that is starting, but of course you will have to because you can't extend Alexandro forever. At a certain moment needs to go. Garder Chiesa et Vlahovic est une bonne chose. Ouais, Cambiaso c'est une amélioration sur les couloirs, mais le départ de Ravella et Rabiot, une seule année, 4 sur 10. Je vais te répondre en anglais, Andy, parce que je sais que tu parles anglais. So, Andy is telling us keeping Chiesa and Vlahovic is good. Weah and Cambiaso are an improvement on the wings, but the departure of Ravella and Rabiot, signing for only 1 year, only 4 on 10. Rabiot, oh, it's a miracle. Honestly, it's a miracle that he's signing. Rabiot is a miracle. I spoke with him. It's a miracle that he's signing. The guy could have gone and earned more than his actual contract. He could have gone with a team easy, that is winning the Champions League, because he was at the peak of his career. That was the moment for him. He's deciding to stay in his comfort zone with a coach that he appreciates a lot. He wants to stay at Juve after really fighting to conquer the heart of a lot of Juventini. The guy doesn't want to go crazy. He said, I go with 1 year, then let's see what will happen in the future. Of course, for Juventus, it would have been fantastic to sign him for 3 years, because next year you can still sell and cash in. But Rabiot was already going for free. So you're just postponing it with the hope that he continues to perform as he did last season. And you hope that everything is cleared up, Juventus is playing Champions League next year, and he decides, okay, now I pay attention to my back and I continue to extend with Juve. But this is something that we will discover. Ravella, you know what I don't like about Ravella departure is the price. It's the price that I tried, but I don't understand. Then if the player, he doesn't want to stay because he wants guarantee of being the starter and so on, and you can't give it to him. Ciao. If you don't want to stay in my team, ciao. What can I say? If you don't want to, ciao. The problem is, of course, that you are giving him to Lazio for 13 million euro, which I really don't understand. I don't understand. Why are you doing favors to Lazio? Lazio that we are trying since, I think I still had hair when we started negotiating for Sergej Milinkovic-Savic. I lost all my hair, and Lotito didn't move a single euro from the initial request. So this is something that I don't understand. Then they have their reasons, injury, the player that doesn't believe in the project or whatever. Also, the player had no other requests from other teams, but it's strange. Michele, I think that Chiesa and Vlahovic stayed only because nobody wanted to buy them. Due to the dramatic past season and the medical troubles, the first offer up to 15 million for one of the two will be accepted. That's also what you have two sides of the story, and you have Juventus, you have the players. I don't think that Vlahovic will be here if we were speaking about a swap Lukaku plus money for Vlahovic if it was Real Madrid and not Chelsea. I think it would have gone way faster. Then let's see what Real Madrid would have offered. Then Paris Saint-Germain, it's true what Michele is saying. They had some interest. Some rumors, I'm not sure, they were saying that he refused. Sorry. The rumors were saying that he agreed on the salary. There was already a salary agreement with Paris Saint-Germain. But first, they needed to sell Mbappé. Mbappé is still at Paris Saint-Germain. So they gave up. Bayern Munich, they were asking for information, but number one was Harry Kane. Real Madrid said that the Mercato is closed, even with all the injuries they have. They don't replace Benzema. Why? Because they were waiting for Mbappé or Haaland maybe next year or whatever. So in a way, it's correct. Vlahovic is there. I'm not saying he doesn't like Juve or whatever, but probably the offer that arrived were not convincing 100%. And that's what I told you about Federico Chiesa as well. Giuntoli was really clear about both players. We want to keep them. They are part of the technical project of 23-24, but if an offer, a real offer, not the joke offer, a real offer arrives, we sit at the table and we discuss. That's what we did with Chelsea. We sat at the table. We were not happy with the proposal. Ciao. Which is correct, I believe. That's a change of Cristiano Giuntoli that he brought to Juve that probably ex-Juve management would have agreed on 20 million plus Lukaku, which now there is a change. Ren, Pulisic, Okafor, Chukwueze. Mark, this season we will have to challenge Inter, Milan, Napoli, Fiorentina, Roma, Lazio, and Atalanta. That's why we are an 8-team place. I don't agree. Mark. Milan and Napoli, they always start with a mega boost. Inter is strong. Roma, I don't know. I don't know why we are so. You need to explain me, huh? You need to explain me. If you tell me Inter, Milan, Napoli, they have 6-on-6, turbo start, okay. I don't know why we are putting Roma in the discussion, and Fiorentina, and Lazio. Roma has like 1 point on 6. You will tell me, there is a Dybala. Dybala, he went out for a muscular injury. Today, it's not muscular injury, but out of precaution, but he will probably miss the big game. But tomorrow can be, we know it, he's not reliable. And they have 1-on-6, so they start in a disaster way. Fiorentina, calcio champagne, whatever you want to, calcio champagne, they win 4-1 and then they draw. They have the same points as us. Lazio, they have 0-on-6, if I'm not wrong. 0-on-6. Rovella didn't play a single minute at the moment. Then maybe tomorrow he will be the new Pirlo. Boo. So I don't know why we are always underestimating Juventus that, on the field, with the worst calcio on the field, we're third. I'm not. So, the margin of progression of Juventus is huge. In terms of way of playing and so on and so on and so on. So if you are third, and actually to be honest we were second, it's because we gave up in the last game because we knew that we would not play Europe and so on, so we totally gave up. But if, ciao, buonanotte Aldo, if seriously Juventus is third last season, we have the same team, we have the same coach, we rejuvenated left and right. We start with a total different way of playing this year with more intensity and so on. Okay, the 35 minutes against Bologna were absolutely not okay. But we are always undervaluing Juventus according to the other ones and praising the other ones much more. I don't get it. Fiorentina, it's always the same story, and I understand it. Fiorentina is playing fantastic, beautiful, from the moment that they play twice a week. They lost against, I don't know what team there, Red Bull Belgium, I don't know. They lost there, the first game 1-0. Then they do like a draw last time because they played twice in a week. It's a team that is not built to play two games in a week. Rapid Vienna. What was the position of last year of Fiorentina? What is the position of last year of Fiorentina? Well, I will tell you. Stay here. Last year, Fiorentina was 8. Who did they sign? Fiorentina. Beltran, Parisi, Arthur, Nzola, Infantino. No, they did a beautiful Mercato. Attenzione, but I don't understand. Sometimes I really don't understand why we are Juventus bad with a lot of progression. Disaster. We will finish 8. Mamma mia, 8. We are not. No, I don't agree. Chunky, I like guys like Rabiot. It's not about money. Whoa. Not about money. It's not that he's earning 2 million at Juve. Be honest, Beppe. How do you rate the Mercato? I'm telling you, Happy that we keep the players. For me, it's a Mercato that I knew. You know why I'm not depressive, why I'm not angry, frustrated? Because I knew. For me, it's logic that we arrived today here. Of course, I would have loved to have other players in other position. Um, it's difficult for me to rate. It's 10 on 10 the expectation I had of what we would do. It's 10 on 10 what I expected. So I had zero expectations. Oh, I tell you even more, I was even expecting that on top of zero signings, would have sold one of the bigs. But objectively, can we rate the Mercato? There was no Mercato. There was no Mercato. Can we rate it? No. Oh, you know, Romeo Agresti, in a normal Mercato, in a Mercato it's crazy here. I have Romeo Agresti Thursday, we have 1,000 people following the live. Now we are 300 because there is no Mercato. Romeo Agresti is not tweeting because there is nothing to say. But we knew. So I'm focusing on other things that we can bring. Strategy at this point, let's add Juve, Stavia, and Alessandra as well. Yeah. Lazio 2 game lost in a row. But we drew against Bologna. No, it's not unacceptable. If you are telling me that Roma is a serious candidate, they lost against who? They lost against, I don't even know against who they lost. But it was not a big team. It was not il Derby della Capitale or whatever. Let me check the result of Serie A. Serie A. Lecce, I believe. No? I don't know. Verona. Something like that. Results. Roma. They lost against Verona. 2-1 against Verona. And in match day 1, they did 2-2 against Salernitana. You know, yes, of course, I don't want to lose any point against Bologna. I don't want to. We played bad for a big part of the game, but we are at match day 2, tranquilli. Oh, then I wanted 6 on 6, and we were not able because we are not perfect. We are not the Udinese Juve. We are not the first half of Bologna Juve. We are a team that is working on new things that needs time. Will we win the Scudetto? I never promised you that we would have been a team that is able to win the Scudetto. But I believe that we have, in a mediocre Serie A, the obligation to fight for competing for the Scudetto as far as possible. Do I want to win? Yes. Does the team want to win? Yes. Allegri, the players, everyone wants to win. By the way, today I watched an image that I didn't see about Kostic after that 1-1 goal, the official 1-1 goal of Vlahovic. When he was celebrating, he pushed him. He pushed him to say, go back, because we have to win that game. So I feel a different spirit as well. But I believe as well, I explained it in every possible way. I explained it in every single possible way that Juventus has been massively, but really massively penalized. Massively. More than you think. I remember the days that people were celebrating. We found a plea deal. It's over. Fantastico. It is not. Don't underestimate the consequences that we had. Then people are telling me here that Nico Schira tweeted, and Nico Schira tweeted, done deal and confirmed, Kenan Yildiz extended his contract with Juventus until 2027. Is it a great news? Yes. If correct, because you know with journalists, when they have correct news, they are retweeting their info. When they are wrong, most of the time they are not retweeting their their news, which is always funny because then you don't know, and then they don't say sorry, I was wrong or whatever. But I told you, journalists, they are journalists. They are not the one that are doing the Mercato. That means that they can give you a correct news that 2 days later is not correct anymore. But anyway, of course, it can be it is, if it's true, it's a fantastic news because it's a player that Juventus is believing in. It's not a coincidence that Kenan Yildiz is starting 2 games. By the way, the youngest player to start 2 first games of Serie A with Juventus. They believe in him. They see the qualities. So I'm happy. I'm happy for the kid that has a really great entourage. I met the entourage of Kenan Yildiz when they were in Belgium with the under-19. So I met them. I have to say, fantastic persons, great persons. It's good. Huh? It's really good. So if he's able to keep his head cool, he can already do a lot. He can do already a lot this season. So it's good. It's really good. But today we're speaking about the hope that we have in kids of 18. And probably in the past we were speaking about other players arriving at Juve. But if we missed, because a lot of people are speaking about, but we missed Erling Haaland, but we missed on, who was it last time? On Bellingham, and we missed on this. You have to know that Juventus has always, the last 10 years, being really great in recruiting or in scouting, in being the first one, because Juventus was on Camavinga, on Tchouaméni. There were already a lot of talks about these players coming to Juve. Then sometimes it happens, sometimes not. Sometimes the project proposed to a player is not enough because they are more hungry and there are more ambitions. Sometimes the project that we are showing is great. Look at the project of Fagioli. Look at the project now of Kenan Yildiz, of Huijsen, that is choosing to stay at Juve instead of going to Barcelona. So it's great. It's really great. Italia, now it's over with Zaniolo. You have to forget about it. Now it's Aston Villa. So it's over. It's over. Mariano, ciao grande. I got ticket for the Lazio game. Thanks again for your advice. Now I will ask for good food recommendation. But Mariano, if you go to Italy, except if you go to a chain, if you go to Pizza Hut, then it's Pizza Hut. But if you go to an Italian restaurant, can we speak bad about Italian food in Italy? In Italy, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Wherever you go, it's good. Did I forget to speak about something? We spoke about potential renewals, about Gatti, Yildiz, Huijsen. We spoke about Mercato. We spoke about Kostic. Okay, maybe I can recap for the people that went out and in. What am I expecting for these last days? Pay attention, according to me, to situation Moise Kean. Pay attention. If Moise leaves in the last days of Mercato, I would not be surprised to see Morata 3.0. If there is an offer for Ealing or for Kostic, the first real offer, not loan, or the real first offer that arrived, I think that we are taking it into consideration. I don't believe in an extra midfielder. So pay attention to Keane, pay attention to Ealing or Kostic. But it's short, because if you sell one of them, you will really need to go really fast for a right player. So that's what I'm expecting. More than that, no. And the chances every hour are higher and higher that we are going towards this team at the end of the Mercato. That's it, guys. I think that Di Marzio, he went to bed. Nicolas Kira, he loves to to tweet quite late, so if there is something, we keep you up to date. But that's it. Do we want to go with a few more questions? Like 3-4 minutes, last question, something we didn't speak about yet. If it's a repetition, then ragazzi, I can't repeat all my life the same things. But if you have things that I didn't mention, go for it now. Ryan is not believing that something will happen. Yeah, but rumors. Yeah, the rumors are saying that virtually. But what does it mean virtually? Where will Leo go? That's a big question. That's a good question. We know it. For Leo, apparently today there were some interest from Roma. Lazio is thinking about it, so it's Lazio, Roma. There is still the option Genoa, and then there is still Union Berlin that said until Friday everything can happen. He prefers to stay in Italy. One thing is sure, Allegri spoke to DAZN. He said we already told him last February that the journey at Juve was over. So it's something that he already knew. It's a pity that we arrive really at the last hours of Mercato with Bonucci. He should have taken the decision much more earlier. Juve person said, no, we have no more questions. Ciao. Thank you. Bye. Let us speak about Pogba. What do you want to say about Pogba? Pogba is a player that anticipated a return. I mean, anticipated. We are waiting for him since 1 year. So anticipation is a word probably that is not the correct one. But according to the last ones, he's anticipating his return, but he's far from the Pogba that we want to see. What do you want, Juan? Can we expect a winter Mercato? There is always a winter Mercato. Even if Juve, it's not always in the winter where they excel. Even if 2 winters ago you sign Vlahovic and Zakaria, but again, I just explained the situation. We have so many players on loan that next year will come back and you will have to sell them. So you didn't cash in. Magically, money will not arrive from the sky. So no, you can probably go for an opportunity if in the winter, if nothing happens now, if in the winter Keane wants to leave or Kostic or Ealing are saying we don't have enough playing time, then maybe you can go for an adjustment. But no. Andy says if Bonucci leaves, then I increase my 4.5, my 4 to a 4.5. Italian. So be honest, Beppe. Would you swap any Milan player for Chiesa? No. I waited 1 year for him, 1 year and a half for Chiesa. Why would I swap players for Chiesa? Then if you tell me the players that I like from Milan and that we need in our team, Theo Hernandez is a player that would be great, but not Theo Hernandez for Chiesa. Leao is a player that didn't start quite well, by the way, but it's not the first time that Leao is not starting the season super well. I don't know, maybe coming back from holiday, it's a player that needs like 3-4 games before really starting to perform. No, for Chiesa, no. Swap, no. I'm happy with Chiesa. I keep Chiesa, but I want a better Chiesa than the one that I watched against Bologna, because it's easy to point finger at Locatelli, point finger at Alexandro, point finger at Allegri. We know it, and they will always be, the usual suspect. They're always the same. Miretti, Locatelli, Alexandro, Allegri, always the same. And then, when you have a bad game of Chiesa, everyone is silent. When you have a bad game of Fagioli, because Fagioli didn't play well, Everyone is silent and we don't speak. We don't speak because Fagiolino is Fagiolino. When they have a bad game of Bremer, we are not really speaking about it. That's why I think, in terms of judgment, we should also there be better and not, like Locatelli this week. I only spoke bad about Locatelli because he did a really bad game, according to me. And it's a player that you know how much I like. I think that we need, when really speaking about player, we need to put away, our emotions and telling what we think objectively. Locatelli did a really bad game. Alexandro against Udinese did a good game. More than I expected from Alexandro. And Alexandro is a player that I don't like. Locatelli is a player that I really like. So, if I hate Italian players, you're speaking to me Italian. No, I just told you that I like Locatelli. More Italian than Locatelli, I don't know. more Italian than Locatelli, I don't know. And Miretti, I like Miretti, for example. People are criticizing him. I really like Miretti. I really appreciate Miretti, for example. Even if last year Miretti was not good. But it's a player that I'm following since the youth, and I think that he can offer much more. And the game against Udinese, the first 45 minutes, I really liked the movements of Miretti. Then at the 3-0, you sub him out. You play Fagioli that needs to come back. He needs some minutes. It makes sense. But it's a player that I really like playing. Even if he had a really bad season, 22-23. Bah. Ragazzi, 1 hour 40. Today you were not generous with the likes. Mamma mia, 141 likes only. I thought it was a good live. It was not. Apparently people didn't like it. Ciao, Jesus Macias. Dinner time. I'm closing, Ron. So enjoy your meal. 155. Die. That's not bad. Thomas, here it shows 68,000. Like, mamma mia. The day that this happens, I jump on my computer, topless a la Lukaku, and I jump. It's not me, it's the Mercato. But I know that the Mercato is a bit sad. So it is the truth. One time we did Here We Fly. I had the new graphics. I was happy, and so on and so on. It's the best. These are the best lives we have. The Here We Fly, and we fly one time with Wea. Colo. Colo is entering at the 95th minute. Beppe, which team had the best transfer window in Europe? That's difficult for me to answer, Colo, because I believe I'm enjoying watching other leagues, because in the past I was not doing it enough. No, I was doing it a lot when I was younger, when I was without kid, without wife. I was living 24/7 football. I was watching like Slovakian league, Danish league, whatever football was on television I was watching. I was able to tell you every single thing from Europe. Then for long I gave up on other leagues, because I'm so much into Juve that with the work, with this and this and this, and also I was watching the youth of Juventus women first team, that is taking so much time that you have to make concession in your life. You have to give up on something. So I gave up on European football. I mean, of course you watch Champions League and so on, But now I start enjoying also other leagues again since now 2 years. Like I'm watching Premier League, I'm watching Liga, La Liga also. But really, to go into detail, there were so many movements in Premier League that I have no idea. I have no idea. Real Madrid did really well, but then half of the team is injured. So can we speak about a fantastic Mercato? Probably on paper, yes, because you're adding young talents even more to your team. But then we will not see the immediate impact of it. I believe that Bayern Munich was really smart to go for Kane. Strange, because their policy of going with so much money for a player is strange. Paris Saint-Germain looks like they're a bit more serious in terms of the transfer policy that they had. But I think they should have just give up on Mbappe. Mbappe, sooner he leaves Paris Saint-Germain, because it's toxic relationship, the better it is, according to me. That can be a potential problem. But I don't know. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. On paper, Milan did really well with limited budget, because that's also, a quality. Yeah? If you're Chelsea, it's easy to say, "Oh wow, Chelsea did fantastic. They signed Cancedo or whatever. They signed this player, this player, this player." And then you have the one that needs to be really creative, where their Mercato and Milan has done. But I think that on paper, I really appreciated the Mercato of Inter and Milan. On paper, I really like those Mercato, because I know Serie A a bit a bit more than the other ones. So Daniel is saying in Premier League, I really like Brentford, small team but really interesting. Antonio, nobody talks about City, but they've done a great job with getting Kovacic. Kovacic is such a strange player, huh? Such a strange player, because you never hear him in the front pages or whatever, and then starter without any doubt with Croatia. He played at Real Madrid, Inter, Chelsea, Manchester City. Crazy, eh? Crazy. Guardiol, it's a good signing as well. Yeah. But they were already so strong. But yeah, they are increasing where they need it. I die. Let's close it with a happy birthday to Pavel Nedved, because today, the 30th of August, it's the birthday of Pavel Nedved. Buonasera Dan Barile, Arif Bendeguz, Antonio Velenowski, Lorenzo Monsante, Italian and Australian football fan. Ciao a tutti, grazie, forza.